right, Stephanie, thank you for taking the time to talk to us about the workshop in your classroom. I'm wondering what recommendations you have for piecing together all of the parts of the workshop.
My biggest recommendation is to stick to each part of the Reader's Workshop as it's laid out, because what's nice about Reader's Workshop is that it has a very clear structure. So keeping that mini lesson precise and short will help you have more time during the independent reading time to get everything done that you need to get done. So if I can keep that mini lesson short, then that gives me that extra time. Also, being organized is huge. I like to know ahead of time which kids I'm going to meet with and what I'm planning to do with them. So whether I'm planning to confer with these kids, pull these kids for a guided reading group, whatever it is, if I know that ahead of time, then the second they get to their seats or their spot around the room to read, I can go straight to them and do what I need to do with them. Because there have been times where I haven't known exactly who I was going to meet with, and then I found that like 3 minutes go by and I'm flipping through my binder trying to figure out who I need to meet with, and then that's time that's wasted. So organization is key.
Right, and you mentioned strategy groups, guided reading, and conferring. How do you determine which kids would get each of those different parts of their independent time with you?
The first thing that I do is I look at the district tests that the kids take. They take an online STAR reading test. So I look at the lowest kids from that data, and those are the kids that I put into groups first. So I figure out what area it is that they need practice with, whether it's comprehension, accuracy, or fluency. And then I put an intervention in place for them where I meet with them in a guided group to work on that skill. For the strategy groups, if I have a few kids that I'm trying to push to that next level, maybe they're really close, but there's just one thing that's holding them back, I will work on just that one skill with them until they are ready to move up to that next level. And also, through formative assessments, if there's a group of kids that are maybe struggling with theme or something of that sort, I'll pull those kids together and we will work on just on theme together until they've got that down. For conferring, every kid needs to be conferred with. So whether it's my low kids or my most advanced readers, I will meet with every kid to confer at some point throughout the week so that I can check in with them and see what I can teach them and how I can push them no matter where they're at.
And what suggestions do you have for organizing and record keeping and all of that data to help you guide these decisions?
My biggest recommendation for that is to keep your system simple, because the more complicated you make it, the harder it is to stick with it. So I just use a binder. This is my biggest tool, so just my reading binder. And what I do is I just put on the inside, I have just a spreadsheet with my class list on it. And what I do is every time I meet with a kid, I bring this with me and I just put the date of when I met with that kid. And sometimes I'll even put a little note for me to know what it is that I'm doing. And then I have these tabs along the side and they're numbered. So like if I'm meeting with Alexis, she's number 8, so then I would flip to 8 and then she has her page here. And I would record the date and what it is that we were working on. So that keeps me really organized, and it's easy to just have this out and record it. And I notice that the kids notice that I'm writing stuff down, and I think that they appreciate that. And also, when I meet with them again, I can look at what we most recently talked about and ask how they're doing with that, and it's another way for me to hold them accountable. When it comes to my intervention groups, like my guided reading group, strategy groups, where I'm working on accuracy or fluency especially, I create a folder, and I just have a folder for each level that I'm working on with the kids. And I've got all my fluency passages in here, and then I keep these note cards, and I just write the student's name at the top, what it is that they're working on, and I write the name of the passage I did with them, the date, and how they did on their target for that passage. So that helps to keep me really organized too, because I've just found it's too much for me to have this in with my binder. So I guess this would be my conferring binder. And these are more my strategy and guided reading group folders.